everyone. Welcome to the 2025 SEC Baseball Tournament Game 14 post-game press conference. We're joined by the LSU Tigers, represented by head coach Jay Johnson, first baseman Jared Jones. In a moment, Coach will give an opening statement. Then we'll take questions to Jared only, please. Lauren and Olivia have wireless microphones. Please raise your hand and wait to be called upon to ask a question. Coach, if you can give us an opening statement.
Yeah, great job by Ole Miss. They've obviously pitched very well here. They certainly did in this game, as they did against Florida and Arkansas. So proud of our team. Had an excellent regular season. Really excited about playing home baseball, next week, hopefully the next 2 weeks, and we'll get ready for that. Get home tonight, get the day off tomorrow, see the lay of the land on Monday, and get right to work right after that.
Questions for Jared, please raise your hand. Cobble on the right.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Jared, since the third inning yesterday, you guys haven't had any run support, I guess. Just what are you seeing out there, and how concerned are you about the offense?
Yeah, I think it's baseball. I think there's going to be ups and downs, highs and lows, but we got to be tougher mentally to handle those. And we weren't that today at all, and we'll be better for it and better moving forward.
Next for Jared. On the front row on the right.
Jared, I was wondering what you knew about Cade Townsend coming into this game, and what did you see from him? What did he give Ole Miss those first 4 2/3?
Yeah, good heater, upper 90s, and then obviously low 90s slider. So kind of one-speed hitting, and we just didn't do a good job of separating pitches today. Kind of let him off the hook a few times in 3-ball counts, and doesn't lead to a lot of success. So myself included, I got to do better in the box at the top of the order and get things going.
Next for Jared on the third row.
Jacob Renner, Baseball America. Jared, how have you seen the pitching maybe improve across the conference over the course of this year?
Yeah, it's been a tough year, obviously. I think there's a lot of great arms throughout the league and country. I just think, it's the SEC, and you're going to get the best players day in and day out. And there's no time to make excuses and no time to feel bad for yourself. There's going to be another game for us this season. And it's about getting onto that one.
Third row on the right.
John Eads, WFB. Jared, when you're facing a team you haven't seen this year and you have short time to prepare for an opposing pitching staff, how difficult does it make it for you guys batting?
It's baseball, You're not really facing the pitcher, you're facing the ball, and then it's the same thing pretty much day in and day out, upper 90s fastball with some sort of slider or changeup. So you just got to be prepared every day to go out there and see something that you've seen before. I've been in the league for 3 years. I don't feel like I haven't seen anything that I'm going to see throughout the rest of this year. So it's just about getting back into character, slowing down at the plate, and taking tougher at-bats.
Second row.
Jared, Matt Tallery from World Baseball Network. What's it like to have, guys like Shores and Myers that can eat innings completely, and what they did today against Ole Miss's offense?
Yeah, that was huge for us. I hope that doesn't get overlooked by how all three of those guys threw today, Newt included. It's tough to go out there and be as bad on offense as we were, I guess would be the word, when they threw as well as we did. And we talked before the game about how 4 to 5 runs would win the game, and it would have, and we weren't able to come through in that. But those 3 guys gave us a really good opportunity to win this game.
On the front row.
Koki Riley with The Advocate. Jared, have you noticed any sort of pattern that pitchers are trying to execute against you guys over the last couple of games?
I think not necessarily a pattern. I just think guys are executing pitches, and we're kind of getting ourselves out at times. I think we could be better, battling and getting pitch counts up, and then obviously just moving forward, it's about getting on to the next game. This game, as much as it hurts and as much as we want to maybe dwell on it, we just more got to learn from it and move on. Coach Johnson always says, learn the lesson, leave the moment. So that's going to be the biggest thing for today.
Last 2 for Coach on the right.
Jared, Mitch Davis and MitchDavisShow.com. Jared, I do want to ask you about the quality opponents you face in this conference, and how does that prepare you for the NCAA tournament and also Omaha?
Yeah, it's a great training ground for Omaha. It's 30-game playoff in the SEC. You got to go out there, and every game counts the same. And then obviously here in the SEC tournament, you're playing for a chance to host a regional and a super regional, and then even better, win a tournament. And that's something I didn't get to do while I was at LSU, and it's on to the next one with regional and whatever else is ahead of us.
All right, last one for Jared on the right.
Jared, just about that, playing at home, earning that right. I guess just how do you use this next couple of days, to kind of hit the reset and get ready for what you know is ahead of you?
Yeah, got to get back to Baton Rouge, get recovered, and get rested, and get right back to work. I'm sure we'll have practice either, Monday or, for sure on Tuesday, and it's just about getting right back into our character of play and being ready to show up on Friday or Thursday whenever the regional starts.
All right, Jared, congratulations on your play this week. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, if there are questions for Coach, please raise your hand on the right.
Coach Mitch Davis to MitchDavisShow.com. I know you and I have mentioned this in the preseason on a podcast. And how does this tournament, how does this conference, similar question to Jared, prepare you guys for the postseason and the quality opponents you'll face?
Yeah, I think he said it well. When you look at what is ahead of us, this point forward, we won't see anything we haven't seen from a talent perspective. I thought, 15 of the 16 teams could compete to probably go to Omaha this year, and that's because the talent on the field makes it a very competitive environment. And I think our team, how they handled the schedule, the consistency in which they did, should play with great confidence going forward, and that's what I expect them to do.
On the second row on the right.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 in Baton Rouge. Coach, first shutout loss for you guys this season. Would you credit more of what Ole Miss was doing, or are there more concerns as you get ready for postseason play?
Well, they gave up 1 on Wednesday. They gave up 2 yesterday, and they gave up 0 today. So they obviously have a formula that works good. We hadn't seen them. I was immediately impressed when I came to their game on Wednesday night at how much better their team has gotten, from last year and then throughout this year. And it's credit to those players and the coaching staff there. I think, as Jared said, there's things that we will attack to do better, that we can control. Some of it is the opponent making it difficult. Some of it's baseball. Some of it's the day. One of the assistants from Vanderbilt, said something to Coach Yeski about, just throw it over the plate today because the ball's not going anywhere. So maybe that's part of it. I don't think it necessarily was a factor for us. Furness hit the homer, for sure, about 20 minutes after he had said that. But we'll get back to work. It's the only way that I do it and operate.
Third row on the right.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday one of the reasons for pitching Cade and Anthony was to get some other guys opportunities today. Jaden, Chase, and Jacob all go and look pretty good out there. Did you see what you wanted to see from
them? 3 hits, 2 runs. That's going to work most of the time for us. I think that's the second time in 4 years we've been shut out. So, credit Ole Miss. So 3 is usually going to be enough, and I would bet on it being enough. And what a performance by those guys. Really happy with how Jaden, I thought he took a step forward last week at South Carolina. I thought he took another step forward today against a good team. I thought Chase was outstanding, and Jacob has been working his tail off, and I'm really glad we got that opportunity for him today.
Third row in the middle.
With Chase specifically, how have you seen him improve over the last couple of weeks and start to kind of round into form a little bit?
Yeah, I think he just needed time, and I think that I say this all the time, and our local media, the best coach you're ever going to have in your life is playing time and getting on that mound. And because he's a third-year guy, you forget. He only threw 18 innings as a freshman before he had the injury and then missed all of last year. And I think the best thing that we probably did for him was start him and get the innings up and get the experience up, and had to grind through some of that. But he did. And he's obviously incredibly talented. He's got a great head on his shoulders. We have some experience underneath us now. I think that's leading to confidence, more conviction, better pitches, and really excited about that.
Got time for 2 more for Coach. First row.
Coach, you guys haven't struck out that much during this little cold streak, but I think 17 flyouts in the last 15 innings. Are you guys just getting under the ball a little bit too much? Is that just a product of not quite executing the plan?
Well, I think it would be a bad answer by me if I generalized it. I think it's a little bit more of a guy-by-guy question. I think there was a situation where we had a couple runners on, and I felt like the game sped up in one at bat, and we expanded the zone and ended up striking out. I think we expanded the zone the very next inning, like with a leadoff guy. We had a 2-1 count. We swung at a ball. We get the guy in the stretch. We had a little tough luck. I put Jake in motion on a 3-2 pitch, and Ethan hit a line drive right at the third baseman for a double play. I mean, if that goes down the line, and second and third, no outs, or maybe a runner on second and one in, because Jake runs so well. But yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, some guys, expanding the zone, some guys missing their pitch, some guys beneath the ball, and you can't be beneath the ball when that guy's running it up there 97 miles an hour, like that. So I think it's a guy by guy, thing, and having been through this and faced enough good pitching over 20 plus whatever years of doing this, the most important thing is to remain positive, stay with it, be very detailed, task oriented in your plans for each of them, and that's what we'll do this week.
All right, last one on the right.
Did you get what you wanted out of these 2 games?
Well, I wanted to win. I really think it's disrespectful and not competitive for anybody to not go for it, and that we certainly didn't. We did that. We just would have liked to have scored a few more runs today. So the main goal is the NCAA tournament, but I feel really good about the 3 guys that threw today. Obviously, felt good about what we accomplished with the 2 pitchers last night. We had 1 error in 2 games, which was on a pick-off move. And offensively, no secret, we'll work at being better, and I expect us to be better next Friday.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time this week.
All right, thank you. Thank you, guys.